welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. Greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and I am so excited for what may come forth today. Brothers and sisters, sincerely, all of you who have been joining in, already joined in, tuned in, and maybe even if it's a later time, thank you. Thank you for joining this. I am so filled with so much excitement, inspiration, so much faith, so much joy, so much happiness. What was the other one? Oh, yeah, so much love, man. I got so much love to offer all of you. So thank you all for tuning in. I got a lot to cover today, and I'm going to do things a little bit the same, a little bit different. For those who happen to see, I've been uploaded a couple of shorts, doing some different things, some different ways within the YouTube stuff. I'm having fun with that, and I've been receiving a lot of support, and bless you. Along those lines, I also ventured off, and I took a short time. I was cautious and mindful about my choices, but I restreamed briefly from with brother Paul Unslaved over on his platform, Proper Instruction Motivates People. If you're interested, I could only tolerate a few moments, so it's in my other live stream cache. You can check that out. Hey, very cool, man. Blessings to you, Radio 4, man. Love from Pacific Northwest. That's right. That's right. Blessings. Thank you for joining, all of us, all of you. So I've been so inspired today, receiving confirmation of things that I've been learning from others, feeling for myself. Makes me feel a lot more comfortable about being me. So today, in the description of the video, well, let me jump to the point. The topic of the video today, simple goals for life. Simple goals for life. And what I really want to encourage you is consider the value behind the goal of creating a simple life for yourself. A simple life with so much joy, so much happiness, so much pleasure that you enjoy sharing your life with others. And what if it could be simple? Because I've been learning and trusting and believing now that it can be simple if and when each of us within our own development, when we start allowing simple to be real. So I didn't put his video in the description, but this was another part of my reminder was, again, listening to some of the teachings offered by Shunyamurti from the Sat Yoga Institute. One of my notes from his today was, where'd it go? The super real, right? Determining your relationship, renewing your relationship with the super real. What is real? See, because what is real is important. But there's a reality beyond what each of us know. There's a lot we don't know. And I know that the world we were born into, it teaches us to stumble around in our own prideful arrogance as though we know better than others, and we know they shouldn't have done that, and we know they can't get away with that. Brothers and sisters, in the description today, I watched is a like 30-minute documentary, a short little video by a man, Todd Perlmutter. I don't know. I just discovered him in this documentary today, this short video. Check it out. Sincerely. I'll pull it up for a little bit. Oh, let me get back to my purpose, right? The thumbnail. Happy Saturday. That's right. It's Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. Blessings to all. I'm feeling good, feeling renewed. So the thumbnail today, sprinkle a little love into someone's heart today. That's my hope. Be a friend, be a blessing, spread joy everywhere you go, and realize sincerely the world will become a much better place when we are all focused more on kindness. It's easy to be kind. It really is. So simple to be kind, because the kindness is natural within us, just as the anger is. We get to choose what we do, but my words, simplify your life with the goal to understand simple for you, right? Recognize the happiness, the joy, the peace, the freedom you seek. Those are with you right now. You want to be more joyful, bring more joy into your consciousness, into your awareness, into your heart. You want more peace, bring more peace into your mind, into your consciousness, into your awareness, into your heart. Everything that we are, it is, it's by God's grace. It's by God's grace, by God's will, that we get to choose. It's so amazing. It's so perfect. It's such a gift. Life, I mean, life is a gift. It's truly a treasure. And we take so much for granted here on earth. I know the life I've lived. I see how many are. And I see potential beyond what others might realize, what others might accept. But we're all living different paths. So let me get back to Todd Paramotor's video. You are this moment, right? Some of the things I took from this video. Actually, let me back up. Talk on it. Simple goals for life. To simplify your life, create goals that are achievable, and goals that are just beyond your reach, goals that you would have to grow into, goals that only God could help you achieve. But choose those things. Choose as many goals as necessary for you to create the life you love. Because that's why you are here. All of us, we're here to create the lives we would love. For ourselves and with each other. But everyone's like, no, you got to do that by yourself. No, you can't be with me. No, I don't trust you. It's nonsense. People are silly, man. So get out of the silliness and recognize what creates a greater life is self-development. Simple as that. You know, you want to improve your health. That's what you're doing. You're developing your health. You're developing your choices, your consciousness, your activities. So self-development is also really just raising our own standards, if you think about it. Because who determines what's good enough? How much effort should we put into, like, exercise and learning and prayer, meditation, doing whatever? How much effort? Here's what I realized. Self-development is simply raising our own standards. So I'm raising my own standards, and I'm declaring this now. I've already seen Mr. Chuck, brother Chuck in Tennessee. I've already seen him in the chat. I've already been I've not received much pleasure or joy or happiness from him for a while, but every moment is a new moment, and I'm hopeful that things can improve and things will improve. But the reason I bring him up is one of my new goals, raising my standards for myself, as I do plan to offer less insults, fewer fewer insults, and less disrespect. That is my hope. That is my goal. I've been working on my anger for a long time, and even now I'm still making excuses and allowing myself to call people names. So I'm going to try and continue. Considering that, I kind of forgot about my plan when I went over there to Poly Boy, but yeah, I'll go review it later, I guess, see how I did. One another thought realized from today, my thoughts and the video we're going to get to a little bit here. I'm going to get to a couple of videos. That's what's going to be different today is I'm going to play a couple things for a couple of videos that I've been recently inspired, and I'm encouraging all of you to please check out these creators, especially the ones I include in the description. Check them out, head that way, give them some support, and admittedly let them know I'd like to talk to them. I'd love to have conversations should their schedules and willingness allow. We don't know what's possible until we ask. And for those who know me, for those who are new, I want to speak to a lot of people. I got some ideas that I believe are worthy of sharing, and I think peace, ending wars is the reason I've chosen for my time and energy. That is my purpose. That's all I really care about. Everyone, all these opinions and all these disbeliefs and doubts, I really don't care. I really don't care. All I care about is trying to find for wars to end, trying to find a way for wars to end. I know it starts in my life, but golly geez, man, standards of some people. Anyway, self-development, raising our own standards, love for the all. This was kind of in the thumbnail today or the other day as well. Love for the all, it's true self-care, because really there is only one self. We are one experience being had. There is one self being realized, and it's just a part of each of us. There is only one moment. There is only one moment, right? Because everything that ever happened in the past, he gets into this in this video, and I encourage you, check out the video. Everything that ever happened in the present moment. Everything that will ever happen in the future will be in the present moment. Now, in this present moment that we are is the entire universe. That's everyone you know, everyone who is right now is with us. We are one time, one moment of universal being. It's so glorious and so amazing. What a gift to be a part of God's glorious, magnificent creation. It's called life. And we have the gift of human life here on earth with the consciousness, the awareness, the ability to know, to love, to create, to imagine, to share, to realize. Praise God. Sincerely, praise God. There is a God who loves us. I am so convinced, sincerely. Here, I'm going to play a little bit of this so you can get an idea at least of what he is actually offering rather than just me trying to say. Here we go. Just a couple of minutes of this, I think.
My biggest dream is for people who are suffering. to realize that the story of their suffering, why they're suffering, is merely a story they are telling themselves unconsciously, and that they can consciously create a different story. From my experience, the universe is really our guide. We can sometimes feel like lives are chaotic, random, out of control. And it
See, amateur. I'm getting better at this, but there was something you said there I want to come back to. I felt it's kind of important. The story of your suffering brings your suffering. Accept responsibility for your suffering. The trauma you keep reminding yourself is your choice. The story of your suffering brings suffering. So when you loop in complaints like I experienced earlier with Polyboy, when you loop in that pattern of negativity and victim and blame and just it's juvenile and it's a childish behavior. So recognize your opportunity to change. If you're dealing with looping memories, looping thoughts, check in. You can change that. This video and another one of his I watched a couple of his stuff today. Beautiful. He's a beautiful, gifted teacher, and I trust he's speaking from experience. He shares his story in this video. Apparently gave his stuff away and went on a spiritual adventure. So he's sharing his path. How cool is that? So again, I'm sorry I interrupted it. We're going to get back to him, but I wanted to point that out and emphasize that. Recognize you can tell the story of you any way you want. You can rewrite who you are, and you can rewrite your rules right now, anytime at right now, because it's always right now. And right now is when we get to know, when we get to choose. So choose who you want to be. Be brave. Be honest. That's the key. Honesty truly is the key. But recognize your story of, oh, they hurt me, and oh, I'm hurt, and oh, I'm blah, blah, blah. Your story of your suffering brings your suffering. Simple and obvious. So please, I love you. Please change your story.
We can sometimes feel like lives are chaotic, random, out of control. And at other times, we can feel in complete control, manifestors, creators of our destiny. But the universe is really always in control. And the universe guides us to what we need, when we need it, where we need it. And the more open we are to new opportunities or changes in plans, and not so rigid and stuck to our small perspective of how things should be, the more flexible we become, the more we flow without resistance to whatever situation comes into our lives, and new doors open up to us that we never even dreamt of. So it's important, in my opinion, to always allow the universe to teach us, to guide us, and to remember when we think something isn't going our way, that maybe something better is coming.
So I'm going to stop there, but I sincerely, brothers and sisters, I encourage you to check out the rest of that documentary. I also included, in the description included his website as well. From what I saw, eastwestmysticism.org. It's in the description as well. It looks beautiful. He's got a program to help educate inmates. And, you know, the idea, he's got stories too of where inmates receiving, incarcerated inmates, meaning people in prisons. Here, I assume here in America, but I don't know. Cool stories. Check him out. Give the guy some attention, because what he's offering you is more happiness, more joy, more peace in your life. I mean, you get to choose the results you seek. You get to choose whatever goal, whatever direction you want. You get to choose, but I'm offering to you, please. Check out what I'm offering, please. Because sincerely, the only reason I'm doing these things is because I believe, well, I guess God's having me do it, to be honest, but my purpose is clear. I believe wars can end, right? That's why that's all I care about is wars. Wars will end when people feel better about living. So, you know, when people feel good, we're going to start caring about the life that's around us. We'll want to protect it. We'll want to nurture it. We'll want to care for it. People don't even care about themselves. It's friggin' obvious. Praise God sincerely, which brings me to another point. We're going to totally, if you're following along, we're taking adventure in your mind, perhaps, okay? Because I know I haven't explained it clearly, but I'm speaking the truth to you. The only moment is now. Now is when we are. This is when we live. So we get to choose how we want to live. How about that? Here's another. I'm going to actually play on this one. Just a heads up. I'm probably going to play about the first 9 minutes of this. I don't usually play videos a lot, but this one I'm going to go ahead. And this is the other video from DNA Awakening. Admittedly, in my own path over the past several years, I went through what many would call the dark night of the soul. Dude, my life crumbled. I've been very open about my story. Lost my job, my family, everything I cared about was gone. So it was a dark night. I went through a lot of dark nights, believe me. This channel, DNA Awakening, was a big part of keeping me inspired and believing, opening my mind, pressing my beliefs that maybe there was more love and more to this world than I'd known before. Let me say that again. Perhaps you might realize that there's more love and more to be known in this world than maybe you've realized, more than you've learned. Maybe there's a lot more love out there. Maybe there's a lot more to learn. I mean, truly, the love of God, the love of wisdom, the love of love. Can you fall in love? Can you fall in love with the idea of God, wisdom, and love? Can you fall in love with God, wisdom, and love? All of those will lead to a greater truth. And the greater truth is going to bring an expansive knowing. With that knowing comes a calm and a peace. But all of us are on our own path, but I'm suggesting to you, please consider, simplify your life. Untangle yourself from your mind. Here's why. This is kind of, if I'm remembering right, this video kind of explains why I'm doing these things too. It presents, well, shows that I'm not alone. You see what you think, please.
Today, I come before you, not just as a seeker, but as a channeler of profound revelation that are reshaping our very understanding of existence. Many have prophesied the pivotal moment we stand at in our collective spiritual journey, yet few truly understand it. This era, often referred to as the end times, is not the apocalyptic vision foretold in ancient scriptures. It is a transformative period of our current awakening and ascension that is unfolding during this year. Today, I feel compelled to share with you my revelations and experiences. The wisdom I impart today is not a retelling of ancient prophecies, but a living, breathing testament to the shift in consciousness we are experiencing. Now, what was once perceived as mere...
Here, I want to point this out. Recognize, while there is something to be gained and understood from and honored from past prophecies can gain different and more modern revelations, different understandings. God, we as people, we have become in this world that I've been in. This world is so arrogant with its beliefs, and no, this is what God says. No, no one knows. No one knows. So why not? Why couldn't God reveal new perspectives on old things as time progresses? That's how life works. It's how it happens. But I see so many people fighting against each other over old interpretations that someone else taught them, that someone else told them. Not that they experienced, but my following this channel, if I'm assuming it's consistent, there's a connection. People are tuning in to the divine pretty well. So let's see what they say.
to the shift in consciousness we are experiencing. Now, what was breathes? The wisdom I impart today is not a retelling of ancient prophecies, but a living, breathing testament to the shift in consciousness we are experiencing. Now, what was once perceived as mere mythology or esoteric knowledge is becoming our lived reality. This is not the end of our world, but the beginning of a new, enlightened era where our collective consciousness is elevating to higher vibrational frequencies, and we are all active participants in the cosmic ascension. The end times are indeed upon us, but they herald the beginning of a more conscious, enlightened, and harmonious world. We are moving beyond the veil of illusion, transcending the limitations of our physical forms, and embracing our true nature as beings of light. Our journey is not just about personal enlightenment, it's a collective evolution that is reshaping our planet and our destiny. In our shared quest for spiritual enlightenment, we often encounter the notion of the end times, a term that has echoed through the corridors of history, shrouded in mystery and fear. However, I have come to understand these end times not as the conclusion of our world, but as a transformative gateway to a new era of consciousness. This is a time of profound spiritual significance, marking the end of one cycle and the beginning of another, more enlightened phase of our collective awakening. The end times have been depicted as a period of cataclysm and chaos, as foretold in various religious texts.
Which, speaking of a man who has a lot of predictions and offerings, welcome, Smith. How you doing, brother?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good.
I don't have any predictions. I actually, I was sitting in bed and I kind of had an epiphany last night. So I see some of the chat. I kind of poke some fun sometimes at some of the things you say. I'm doing it in good fun. But I do think, to anybody listening, honestly, I think you actually have a decent message. I don't think that we're going to end wars or legal secrets. But I do think that the agenda of these panels, for the most part, is chaos and division. And I've learned it firsthand over the last almost year. And I think, the choosing love and I'm not going to go all in detail with that, but yeah, for the most part, I was thinking, wow, he does have a pretty decent message because there's a lot of hate in the world. There is a lot of fucking hate. I go on these panels. I try to share things for signs and seasons. No, I don't have predictions, but I think it's signs for the seasons, and people hate it. They hate it. What people want when they're on YouTube is to hear their own voice. I don't care. I'm shit. I'm shit, and I've said that 1,000 times. I'm shit. So, but yeah, you got a good message. That was my point of coming up here.
I appreciate that, brother. Well, here, similar to you, another guy of our time is the one telling this, right? They're sharing their revelations and inspirations that they're receiving. So thank you, Smith. And I agree, there is a lot of division, and I'd welcome any ideas or solutions you can bring forth. I'd love to find a way to.
True.
Well, you know what? I am doing things. I'm cleaning up my own home. This place is not really going to be a safe harbor for the chaos and stuff anymore. So
What does that mean?
it means I'm going to insist on order and cooperation.
Oh, you said you're cleaning up your place. I thought you meant like your homestead. You're talking about your place on YouTube?
This streaming panel. Yeah, I'm knocking on doors, extending invitations, and unfortunately, I do have the reputation I have, and I do have, what has been. So, but I am trying to actually do something with this. And so, yeah, I plan to clean it up and hopefully less chaos. Eventually, I imagine it'll be a group that wants to really develop this and grow what's being shared. So, welcome, brother. Here, I want to get into this just for a little bit more. I want to offer what he's suggesting because I'm in line with this, that the end times are this. It's time for a new way. We create the new way by evolving, ascending, overcome our past limited thinking. And that's what this is really about. The apocalypse is the great revealing. It's only fearful for those who are filled with lies.
But through my spiritual awakening and channeling experiences, I have perceived a different truth. These are not the doom-laden days of old prophecies, but rather a momentous opportunity for humanity to transcend its limitations and evolve into a higher state of being.
Mm-hmm.
The ancient prophecies, while steeped in wisdom, were but a reflection of the consciousness of their times. Now we are on the verge of a new understanding, as we reinterpret these prophecies in the light of our expanding awareness.
We've got new perspectives on everything today compared to when those things were written. We've got new perspectives on science, new perspectives on history, new perspectives on a lot of things. So it makes sense to allow yourself to consider that maybe things can get better. That's what I truly trust, and I have faith. I'm counting on it. I am. I think it's time.
The real end times are about the end of a certain way of living and thinking. It signifies the dissolution of the ego-driven, fear-based paradigms that have long governed our existence.
Mm-hmm.
We are now awakening to a reality where love, unity, and oneness are the guiding principles. Millions around the globe are feeling this shift as a tangible change in their hearts and minds, not just as something metaphysical. I have traversed this path from the deep slumber of conventional consciousness to the enlightened state of spiritual awareness. Awakening is not merely an event, but a process, a gradual unfolding of the soul's potential and an expansion of our understanding of the universe and our place within it. The first stage of awakening often begins with a sense of restlessness, a feeling that there is more to life than meets the eye. For me, it started as a gentle nudge, a whisper in the soul that beckoned me to look beyond the material world and delve into the mysteries of the spirit. A call to adventure that cannot be ignored beckons. As the journey progresses, there's an insatiable thirst for knowledge. We start seeking answers, exploring various spiritual paths, and immersing ourselves in the teachings of enlightened masters. During this phase, I delved into ancient texts, meditated deeply, and sought the guidance of spiritual mentors, experiencing an expansion of consciousness and a broadening of perspective. Perhaps the most challenging stage is the dark night of the soul, where old structures and beliefs begin to crumble. It's a period of inner turmoil and confusion, but also of profound growth.
This dark night of the soul it's a bitch, but something to keep in mind: the mental, emotional pains, the trauma. It's as painful and dark. It's only as deep and painful as we allow. We actually have a lot of control in how much we allow and don't allow into the darkness or from the darkness. It's an amazing gift this life really is, man.
In my experience, this was a time of intense introspection and purification, where I had to confront my deepest fears and let go of limiting ego attachments. Emerging from the dark night, there's a newfound clarity and understanding. This is where true enlightenment begins, as we start integrating our spiritual insights into our daily lives. For me, this meant adopting a lifestyle that was in harmony with my highest self, making choices that reflected my inner truth, and using my insights to guide you on your path. Awakening is never truly complete. It's a continuous process of learning, growing, and evolving. Even now, as a guide to many, I find myself constantly expanding my understanding and deepening my connection with the divine. This awakening journey is unique for each individual, yet there's a common thread that binds us all: the yearning for truth, the quest for inner peace, and the desire to connect with something greater than ourselves. The most profound realization that I have come to understand is the immense power of our thoughts and their contribution to the universal mind. Our thoughts are not merely fleeting, insubstantial elements of our minds. They are potent energies that shape our reality and the collective consciousness of humanity. Every thought we generate creates a ripple in the fabric of universal consciousness. In my own spiritual journey, I have witnessed how positive, love-infused thoughts can bring about healing and transformation.
I've heard enough testimony, sincerely. The power of our mind is immense. It's incredible. It's what Jesus and many masters have been trying to teach. The gateway to the power that exists in the mind it's in the selection. It's in our choosing. The power of choice has been given to us. So the thoughts we choose loving thoughts. Choose loving thoughts that are honest to receive and process the power of God. It's really kind of that simple, I think.
Not only within ourselves, but in the world around us. Conversely, thoughts rooted in fear, doubt, and negativity can perpetuate the cycles of suffering and illusion. The collective consciousness of all living beings. We are all connected to an infinite reservoir of knowledge, wisdom, and energy. As we elevate our thoughts, we contribute to the purification and upliftment of this universal mind.
As we purify our thoughts, we help elevate. Or as we elevate, we help purify the collective mind. And we are connected. We're connected to so much more than what we know. There is so much more than what we know. And the infinite, I call that God. I mean, it's easy to accept. No, it's easy to understand when accepted. It might be challenging to accept. That might be accurate. Here, we'll get back to this.
To an infinite reservoir of knowledge, wisdom, and energy. As we elevate our thoughts, we contribute to the purification and upliftment of this universal mind. I have experienced profound moments of connection with this cosmic consciousness during meditation, where insights and inspirations flowed effortlessly, revealing deeper truths about our existence. Each thought we hold and each intention we set has the potential to influence the collective human experience. We see a significant shift in the global consciousness. This shift is characterized by a greater emphasis on spiritual values, a deeper understanding of our interconnectedness, and a move towards a more compassionate and harmonious world. To be mindful of your thoughts. Cultivate positivity, love, and compassion in your daily reflections. Understand that your mental and emotional states are not just personal experiences, but contributions to the collective evolution of humanity. Each positive thought is a step towards a brighter, more spiritually awakened world.
Oh, can you accept that possibility for yourself, that each positive thought you offer, we can only focus on thoughts a moment at a time, and we choose how long to extend those moments. But can you accept that possibility that maybe time spent on positive thoughts may actually play a greater role in the collective, may actually be beneficial for your heart, your soul, your spirit, spending time on positive, healthy thoughts? Seems logical to me. Really does.
I would agree with that. I
Each
just think
positive thought.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'd agree with that. I just feel like our role as men is to stand up to the atrocities of the world.
We can only do what comes into our moments. I see a lot of people talking about doing things, but we can only do what comes into our moments. So I've been trying to find a way to do just what you're saying, to stand up against this corruption and nonsense, but I don't know. Here, let me do this. Thank you.
Thought is a step towards a brighter, more spiritually awakened world. In our spiritual quest, as part of my community on DNA Awakening, the concepts of dimensions and timelines play a crucial role. These are not just abstract or metaphysical ideas. They are essential frameworks that help us understand the evolution of our consciousness and our journey through the cosmos. In the realm of spirituality, dimensions are not just physical measurements, but states of consciousness. The third dimension, where most of humanity has resided, is characterized by duality, materialism, and a linear perception of time. As we ascend spiritually, we move into the fourth and eventually the fifth dimension, a heightened sense of unity, a deeper understanding of our interconnectedness, and an experience of time as fluid and non-linear mark this shift. In my own awakening, embracing these higher dimensions has opened doors to profound inner transformations and a deeper connection with the divine. Each timeline reflects different possibilities and outcomes as it navigates through the fabric of reality. Our collective and individual choices determine which timeline we navigate. The concept of timelines transcends the idea of a predetermined destiny, empowering us to become active co-creators of our reality. Through meditation and spiritual practice, I have learned to navigate these timelines, making conscious choices that align with the highest good for all. Each one of you plays a vital role in this grand cosmic shift. By raising your vibration, embracing love and unity, and making conscious choices, you contribute to the collective movement towards this new, enlightened timeline.
I'm going to stop there. To stay on point with what was just offered, recognize the potential, the unknown, unrealized potential that is within you. Please don't underestimate either the power of your thoughts, the power of your good intentions. All good comes from God. So if there's a feeling in you that something good can happen, run with that, allow that. But if something moves within you, a feeling or a thought, an impulse, and it's not a good result, like maybe it must be good for the all, because there is only one self that is happening. There's one experience being formed, being revealed, being shared. There is one happening. We are all in this life together. We share this moment by moment, and it's really easy to forget, because God made it difficult to pay attention when we have unpure minds. And we were born into a world where corruption and violence and oppression has been normalized. Brothers and sisters, please hear my words and receive the seriousness behind what I'm saying, despite the gentleness of my tone, okay? I'm trying to find a way for me to do what I say. I'd like your support, whoever you are, whenever you are. I'd like your support to join me and others in our efforts to create a better world in the here and now. And it starts right now, because we only live right now. And so, again, as I mentioned to Brother Smith, I see a lot of people talking about doing things. They project that as though that is me. I am not only talking. I can assure you of that. I mean, I am doing every single thing I can think of that I believe could actually result in changes in my life and the community and in the greater world. I am trying, I admitted earlier in this stream, my goal is to improve my own standards of me for myself. I think I'm doing pretty good. I'm a couple days past the, couple days into the absence of nicotine, and that's been a lifelong attachment. But what I'm doing is what I'm sharing, right? The recent videos, the recent streams have been with the topics of many different things, but realizing the peace and the joy that life has to offer. That's what I'm offering. It's what I'm hoping to share because it's what I've discovered for myself. I found my way to an inner peace that, tell you what, I've dropped the link, and I know the type of people who have joined in the past, but tell you what, feel free to join, click the link, and ask me how I feel, right? Because we can tell how we're doing by how we feel, whether you admit it or not, whether you recognize it or not. God reveals all, right? So feelings are a big part of how you're doing. I have a clear mind, clear conscience. I'm filled with faith and peace and love. I do tend to intimidate people, and I've been trying to figure this out. How do I stop scaring everyone away? How do I do that? I'm truly a gentle man. My reputation is quite different, but I'm truly a very, very gentle man. Praise God. God is so mysterious. God is so delightful. Can you feel God with us right now? I mean, I don't mean to change the topic. We were talking about how people view me as so dangerous, so repulsive, such a failure. It's like, what? No, 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 no. Here, come to the moment. Join me in this moment here with God. Can you feel God's glory, God's presence with you, around you? Can you hear God's silence? Do you hear that? Do you feel that? Praise God. It's there. I feel it all. I feel a life, an energy, a vibration, a vitality within me that I didn't know was there in the past. Training your mind, brothers and sisters, training your mind is so important for your health. Okay, because if you're not in blooms, well, you get to choose. You get to choose from the vastness of information you've heard and seen, and the vastness of information you've learned in your experience. You get to choose whatever the hell you want. What I've done is I've figured out, actually in that video, the first video, I think the documentary of the being the moment. Oh, I lost my thought. I brought that up for a reason. Well, I was going to give credit where the idea was found. Watch that video about living in the moment sincerely. And I watched another one he did today about healing, healing from past anger, I think is what it was. Here, I'll pull it up and drop it. Oh, that's right. He actually dropped another video today. A short, I guess. I didn't watch it. Oh, we can watch it. Well, I don't know how this works. I don't imagine someone like this being real critical about sharing his stuff, but I don't know. I don't know how anyone works, to be honest. Here, this is another video from Todd regarding how to leave your past in the past. That's another video of his I watched today, and I tell you what, I am very impressed with the way he presents. Beautiful messenger. Beautiful messages, very clear and, intuitive. So, I don't know. For anyone watching Insanity, do you watch? I'm wondering which one. I enjoy watching Insanity broadcasting live. Maybe I jumped into conversation, but I'm pretty sure that's not me. I know sanity is a clear mind. Insanity is the belief of delusions. I don't really go around. I don't really go around behaving as people seem to believe. There's a lot of false narratives described about me. It really is fascinating. Praise God. God is involved in this moment, in this day, in this happening all around the world. And brothers and sisters here, my goal for you for today is to encourage you through the videos and the other sources. I encourage you to go learn from them. Should you feel guided, should you find interest in trying to grow in your own happiness. What was it? Yeah, your own happiness, joy, and peace. If you want to grow in that, please, I encourage you, expand your awareness in perspectives offered by some very beautiful teachers. The videos are in the links are in my video description. So I'm just a collector of wisdom. I don't claim to know nothing, but you should listen. You might want to listen to those other people because they got some smarts that I don't have. I just got my own. So I don't really I'm here to promote others. But at the same time, I'll repeat what I did yesterday to some degree. I am seeking your support, not your vote, not your donations, but I am seeking your support and your investments, your energy, your time, your creativity, your ideas. I feel guided for this purpose to find a way. I'll say it how I want to say it. Please accept it. I'd like to find a way with your support to create the opportunity to represent all of us, me and you. I'd like to represent men and women of America and around the world, particularly the laboring class. And I'd like to speak with citizens in Congress, Joe Biden, people in the current administration. I believe they may be a path, or maybe there's another way. Maybe I just go to the UN and get the support from the UN to help me speak to the American government. But whatever you might think could be helpful, I would happily receive. But it comes down to, do you believe? Do you believe you can trust in someone like me to properly represent the goals of peace, equality, honesty, transparency, generosity? Those are the things I'd like to bring into the minds of the citizens in the American government. Matter of fact, I've said this before, I'd like support, if anyone's willing to try, I'd like support to try and help bring peace, to help negotiate peace, to insist upon discussions. I know there's a way. There's got to be a way. There's always a way. Where there is a will, and I have this will. I feel God's willing me for this purpose. I think that's probably why I was stupid enough to serve when I was a child. I'm sure this was part of God's plan, so that at this point in my life, after everything I cared about was taken from me, then I'd get off my ass and try and do something about it. It makes sense to me. Okay? So if you can believe in that, brothers and sisters, I'm encouraging you to join. I'm looking at the chat. You are fascinating creatures. Here's where I'm wondering. I had originally set this up. I was going to forward the audience to the machine lines. I have dropped the link for those who wish to talk with Jack, want to discuss some of this. I'm getting some suggestions of the chaos, and go look at Jesse's stream with Ian. Go look at Ian's. Go look at Paul. The lack of awareness I see around me is just fascinating. Hey, Bryce Bear, how much money do you need to change the world? Actually, the absence of money. A changed world would result in an absence of money. And when you stop focusing on money as a limitation or a requirement, guess what? You find a lot more freedom. So when your question has no actual, I don't understand your question, considering, well, you're welcome to explain your question. I'm happy to answer any real questions, but Britt, do you not see the behavior that's being shown? How is it arrogant to politely describe inappropriate behavior as fascinating creatures? Because that's what I'm doing. I'm observing and accurately describing there are some fascinating creatures. Humans are creatures. Animals are creatures. It's generalization. There's no insult. Are you insulted? Are you feeling defensive, Britt? Do you need to fight? It's okay. We can let it go. Blessings, Artful. I know it, man. This is kind of amazing for me, and I do feel humbled and appreciative. And that's why I really don't want to bother. I don't want to waste a lot of time from this nonsense, insult and defending myself from insults. Frankly, I've had enough. I don't want it anymore. Sincerely, if you can't find the good in me, Chuck in Tennessee and several others, if you can't find the good in me, take your happy ass elsewhere. Go find joy and happiness somewhere else, because you're not sharing any with me. I'm certainly not receiving any joy or happiness, peace from your participation in my life. I've just simply been asking for change, and I don't understand why it's been so resistant. I'd love for us all to live in love and prosperity. I would. And you know what? Jack Talcott 2024, let's make this a year, please. If people are willing to take a chance, I have no intentions of letting anyone down. And I haven't let anyone down intentionally, have I? I'm going to review that thought. I don't believe I have. I know a lot of people have found disappointment in me, but that's because they've stayed away and they've never bothered to accept what I've said. I'm speaking the truth. Brothers and sisters. Hey, Britt, keep it up and I'll just kick you away, okay? Because I really don't need your stuff. Unless you're talking about those in the chat, but the chat hasn't been that way. And here's where I'm at. Simple goals for life. Can you convince yourself to stay present? Simple as that. Can you train yourself to stay present and aware of the love that is present? Do you have to interrupt the presence and the love with your complaint, with your negativity? Hey, thank you, Jack's little monkey. You're rocking. So far, so good. I appreciate you, my friend. So we have the opportunity every single day to participate with the world that the world shows us, which is all of us. It's really easy for us as human beings to get caught up in our minds. It's what the world wants. It's a spiritual battle conducted in the mind. You want to lose the battle? Guess what? Stay trapped in your mind. That's where the game is played. You stay trapped in your mind, looping over the past and the future, and all these memories and imaginations, all these opinions and all these fears, all these anxieties, all these stories. Oh my God, I can't settle. I can't stop. I can't relax. Oh my God, the world is so scary. I've been there. It's not fun. Praise God. That mind out of control, it's insanity. It's a choice. You don't have to accept insanity in your mind. You have the option to take control. But this world we were born into has literally profited from trauma. So you may have some unhealed trauma within you that you're a little blind to. You may not be aware of, because we live in a world where trauma and profits and debts, right? Trauma, the profitable trauma, profitable conflict, profitable oppression, profitable slavery, profitable misinformation, all of these profitable examples here in the world that we live in, it's been enabled. It only happens because people go along to get along. When are you going to stop? When are you going to change? All of us have that opportunity, and we only live right now. See, in this moment of right now, in the present, this is where we have the opportunity to choose, to do, to say, to feel. And so what I suggest to you is feel. Well, every one of us are on our own path. You're going to have to find your own way. But I know what the goal is. The goal is divine faith, divine love, faith without limits, without conditions, love without limits, without conditions. That's what, excuse me. That's what was demonstrated through Jesus, through the Christ. We got all these Christians running around here, blaspheming each other as though there's no good in one another. Destroyer blessings. I tell you what, Chuck has been there for a long time. And it doesn't please me to have these conversations with him, but Chuck controls our opportunities. He's insistent that I'm the one who's wrong. I'm the one who needs to change. But just yesterday on the stream, he says he sees no similarities whatsoever between Jesus and anyone. He's confused. And since he refuses to accept confusion, his confusion, he wants to continually make excuses and blame and deflect. It's the way the egos work. Chuck, my friend, I would love to have a polite conversation with you, online or offline. You're a man I can admire and I can respect, but for whatever reason, you don't show me any admiration or very little respect, and it's not very pleasant on my end to be receiving disrespect and negativity thrown at me, considering my goals, considering my experience, considering the life I have lived. I'd appreciate an opportunity to find resolve with everyone. Because, brothers and sisters, whether we like it or not, whether we like each other or not, we are all in this life together. And I almost said I was begging you to join me. I am begging no more. I trust in God. God is guiding me. My faith is guiding me. My love is guiding me to share these words here today. And I've presented myself pretty clearly. I keep growing. I do know that. I do know I keep growing and improving because I'm very self-aware. It's the goal I've placed on myself. And again today, I've said it publicly, I'm raising my own standards for myself. I've been putting it off for a long time. I tried negotiating a deal with God. I said I'd quit chewing and I tried to become more perfect when I got support in my life. But I've been putting it off a long time. And don't let me be disrespectful to those who have been generous with their support. I mean, someone actually in my physical life is what I'm referring to. I was going to put off raising my standards for myself when I got some support, but it appears that that's not God's intention for me. I'm pushing through the discomfort and I'm committed to growing. I'm going to reduce my insults and my disrespects. I'm going to be more mindful. That's what I intend to do. So, with the purpose of becoming a man, following, right, a disciple of Yeshua, Jesus, trying to consume and know what he might have known. As a disciple and follower of his, I'm inviting you to please consider investing some support, creativity, energy, time. Make a couple of calls. Share the video. Someone you think might want to help. If we, and I think many of us feel this. It's just I've been dumb enough to say, all right, what if this could be true? Well, if I want to follow the example of Jesus, what was he doing before he was murdered? Oh, he was sharing the praise of God. He was performing miracles. Well, I don't control the miracles, and I've been quite humble. God controls the results, right? We control our choices, our efforts, how much we put into our choices. We control all of that stuff. We choose when it's enough. We choose when we give up. We choose when we start. We choose it all. God shows the results. So I don't have the story that he did about miracles and all the proof, but holy crap, you can't see the similarities between the words? I mean, I don't have to be perfect. That's kind of the point. We don't have to be perfect, but there's nothing stopping us from trying to be more compassionate, more kind, more forgiving, more fearless, more loving, right? There's nothing preventing us from trying to be better, except for stupid excuses. And every time we blame, we're making an excuse. And every time we make an excuse, we're placing blame. So the excuses and the blame that we imagine keeps us from really growing well. Hey, Monkey Wrench, do you think that matters? Number one, I did not yell at everybody yesterday. Let's please be accurate. I don't believe that's accurate. Lindsay and Chuck do seem to get along with everybody but me. However, have you been listening to any of my words whatsoever? Does it matter that Lindsay and Chuck seem to get along with everybody but me, considering the things that I have been talking about in this stream here today? Does it really matter? See, this is what I mean. A lot of people don't pay attention. They just run around thinking about what they think. People don't pay attention. They run around thinking about what they think. So make sure that you're paying attention to what's real, not what you think about what is real. There's a distinction and a very, very important difference. One is real, one is imagined. Okay? So it's challenging to clearly present thoughts on thoughts, right? Particularly with people who have patterns. They've normalized monkey mind. They've normalized their past behavior. And the words I'm offering about thoughts challenge those thoughts that they've been keeping. So in the minds of many, I'm offering a lot of offense because I'm challenging their belief systems. Well, this is biblical, right? It's not the flesh and blood, it's the belief systems in the mind. My mind is clear. I'm simply gently offering the truth that comes through me. And so what you obviously didn't pay attention to was my explanations, Monkey Wrench. I mean, Chuck and Lindsay are welcome to join. My patience, though, my patience will be determined. I'm committed to my goals, however, of offering fewer insults and less disrespect. So anyone can join, but this is what I don't get. This world of confusion in which we live, if you're understanding me, God bless you. Many do not. And I don't know why. I don't know exactly what separates between, right? Because it seems like you attract people into my life. People, when they learn of me, I do get into their minds. I get into their hearts. I capture people's attention. I recognize that. But I know that people keep me in their minds, and they show me their bruised hearts, the walls, their defenses, their sensitivities, their judgment, their disappointment, their all this nonsense. People show themselves. Brothers and sisters, regardless of what this panel verse has emerged, I'm trying to rise above this, okay? If you can see the truth of me, there's like this cloud of chaos, and I will be emerging from this, growing from this. This will become in the past at some point. So, Polly Boy, if you happen to be listening, you can either join or be left behind. I don't care. I know, well, by God's grace, we'll learn what the future may bring. Because I think I'm gonna wrap this up pretty soon. Unless anyone does wish to join and have a conversation with me about some of these topics, a simple goal for a simple life, becoming present, becoming humble, humbling yourself to the present, becoming unified with the experience, letting go of the form, letting go of the forms of ideas, the labels, the definitions, just learning how to be. The purpose of what I'm offering to you is a freedom, a joy, a happiness, perhaps a bliss you may not have known was possible. I didn't know these things not that long ago. I'm doing the best I can to explain honestly my I'm doing the best I can to explain honestly my personal life experience. Chuck, you can do whatever you want to do. Do you want to stay in the chat and mock me as though I have some expectations that I've never said, but that you've imagined and placed upon me? It's absolutely fascinating, okay? So, hey, Venus Cupcake, God bless you. Bless you. I don't know that we've really talked and connected a lot, but there's a few of you characters, man. You and Bex, I don't remember. Are you the two that don't get along? But I actually enjoy both you guys. I enjoy a lot of these people, man. I enjoy a lot of these people. And Chuck, you still see how you're deflecting, taking no responsibility. So what? So what you were talking to Monkey? Were you not talking about me? About your imagined expectations? You must kiss the ring. I mean, how stupid do you think I am, man? Chuck, you're so whatever, man. I am about to wrap it up, but welcome, Neurojack. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. I wanted to talk about a hypothetical with you, if you don't mind.
Please, feel free.
So, without referencing anyone in particular, because it's not really important to the hypothetical situation, let's say that there's a man named Jack, and he was trying to reach out and touch people in a very particular way to get them to imagine a better future. And let's imagine that for some reason people did not appreciate Jack's vision. And Jack was trying to illustrate his points by extending olive branches. And every time the olive branch is extended, it's broken and thrown in the wood pile and burned up. So what if Jack, this hypothetical person, were to instead start not extending olive branches to those people that would just carelessly take them and throw them away, not because he doesn't want to give them more olive branches, but because the actions of these people may disrupt people who may actually be open to Jack's message, and their behavior deters the credibility of Jack's intentions and desire to see people grow in a better, more healthy way.
Well, that hypothetical is pretty accurate. Question is, what do I do? What do I do? Well, I think I know, but here's where I'm at. You're right. I keep extending olive branches to people that don't appreciate it. They don't respect it. They use that kindness, that whatever, just to reattack, cause chaos, and interrupt the people who care about what I'm saying from hearing what I have to offer. So my choices are creating part of my self-sabotage. I realize that. I don't know where the line is, to be honest, because to some degree, the reality is my time is running out. There is somewhat of a desperation in my calendar of my own personal life. I feel a sense of urgency watching the news with the unnecessary wars continuing. So beyond myself, I feel a huge pull, huge desire to get out there and do something. But for the life of me, I don't know what to do to convince people to join me, to allow me, like, visit me in my life, right? It's a bizarre situation I'm in, and I'm doing the best I can. I really am. Yeah, see, good-hearted people making sure they're keeping track of when. See, people bet against me. They've been betting against me for a long time, and I think it's funny.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not telling this hypothetical Jack what to do. All I'm saying is perhaps these people's version of love and care is not conducive to growing an audience that is going to be conducive to the vision that this hypothetical Jack might be trying to extend and get people to grow from their imagination into the real world, if you get what I'm saying. And I think that every time we allow their disruption of people who can daydream something better, they may not win, but they're slowing down the process. You know, in this hypothetical situation, at least.
I definitely agree with you. I really do. And you didn't offer specifics, and this is a hypothetical and generic. Here's what I am hoping to do, because you're absolutely right. I've seen the patterns of my own choices and the damages. You know, it's unhelpful. Some of these patterns are unhelpful. I'm knocking on doors, and someone will give me a chance at some point. I know that's going to happen. Whether it's someone from my past or someone for the future, someone is going to give me a chance, and doors will open and things will dramatically change. That's what I'm counting on. I'm knocking on a lot of doors as well, trying to create some opportunities for things to change. And here, sorry, let me come back to this. Tarek, you're right. Jack, Chuck, and Lindsay are part of my life at this moment. They're there for a reason. Yeah, I've looked within. I found reasons they are here, Tarek. I trust and believe that they are probably here to learn from me, just as I've learned about myself from and through each of them. I can help them learn about themselves, but only if they want to know. Different than what they think about me. They've been insulting and disrespectful towards me. Not disrespectful, not intentionally at least. And here, we got someone else here. Welcome, Cecil.
Did somebody say patterns?
Patterns.
Yeah, you were just talking about patterns. I just came in like 20 seconds ago, so you were talking about patterns somehow.
Maybe some of the patterns people show. Well, Neurojack was offering the patterns in the hypothetical, you know, if I keep trying to create peace and the people aren't accepting peace and it's being a disruption from what I'm offering. What good is the offer of peace then? It's actually not. Because the goal is we are here to create a better world. That's what I'm trying to convince others to believe. A better world is available through a better mindset. A better mindset occurs with a change in values. Change in values happens with a different perspective. And a perspective can change in a moment just by accepting some new ideas. So I've been learning a lot of new ideas for myself, and I've been doing the best I can to share what I've been learning. And here I'm kind of changing directions a little bit. I'm trying to promote people I see trying to help people. Initially, that was Paul, but I've given up on him. He's not trying to help anybody but himself. So the people in the description, those channels in the description, those people are genuinely offering help and support, wisdom for others to learn.
Sure. Well, if I may interject, I just couldn't help but notice that you are describing like good people, and what you're trying to do is like do good things. But unfortunately, we have to come to the realization that not everybody in reality are good people. There are some people that have either lost their way or just enjoy evil or, whatever. And they're not trying to do that. They're trying to interject negative patterns because they enjoy suffering, or they're suffering so much that they want to see other people suffer. It's just very negative patterns taking place. And whether it's their intention or not, some people just aren't good.
Hold on. It's a partial truth. Okay. Patterns continue until they're interrupted. Interrupted by an opposing or a different force. And we can interrupt the patterns of those who have been showing evil and darkness and recognize here's the reality. We will only experience them in the now. Okay, so in the now, when we experience someone who is evil and cruel, if there's clear evidence of that, then we recognize they are still a divine spark that's living at the level of consciousness that they have learned. Some people have learned a dark level of consciousness, but that can be unlearned and it can be changed. It can be influenced and overcome.
Let me give one more analogy, and I'll say and this will be the last part I'll say, and I'll let this go. But let's say that hypothetically, this hypothetical Jack was a doctor, and there was a disease going around, and the ER is full, and the disease causes people's hearts to be broken, and his job was to go in and fix. And some people were more easily fixed than others, and he's going to have to make tough decisions in life, right? What about triaging those he can help the most? Although it hurts, he's got to make a decision in real time and do what he can to help those who he can best help, and unfortunately, those that are unwilling to receive it are going to have to, make prayers on their own to find a better solution. Because Jack is a heart doctor, and heart doctors have to do what they have to do, right? And they have to make tough decisions sometime. And that's all I'll leave it. Thank you, Jack.
Respect, brother. Thank you very much. And those are words that I will consider later. There is some truth in my choice, my obligation, responsibility, and my opportunity to choose, and somewhat to triage. But I'm doing my best. I like to choose it all, and I believe all in this world. We are all one, sincerely. It's challenging to accept, but the simplicity of this truth is so undeniable. The moment we are all united in the moment, this present moment of here and now. You're here, but we're sharing now. And this moment, everything that's ever happened in the present moment. So those present moments happened, and we are in this present moment. The future hasn't happened. It never will. it will happen in the present moment. So if we stay united together in the present moment, that's how we move beyond the form into the spirit of being one with the nothingness, one with the time. And as we're one with the time, one with the moment, recognize you've got free will to choose within at every moment, all time. And we choose what we offer, whether we realize it or not, whether we accept it or not, we choose what we offer because there's a movement within us, a will, a desire, an impulse. Those will come up and we get to choose what we prevent and what we throw out. So life is not as complicated as the world has made it to be. We can create new rules for the future. All of us can. I trust we can because I've been doing this for myself. I've been rewriting the rules for myself. That's what self-development is. Like I said, I've been raising the standards for myself, not allowing myself to do this stupid thing or that stupid thing. We can rewrite the rules. We can create a better future. We can realize that, holy cows, man. Praise God. God is the super real, the supreme real. There you go. Come to terms with the supreme real. Come to terms with the supreme. Come to terms with that which is real. It's easier than we think, right? Because if we stay in the moment, stay connected with that which is real and true in the moment, as long as we stay honest, we got no problems, man.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm pretty sure that your viewpoint probably works for you. In the past, okay, I have always attempted to be one of these people who's like coming from experience through the now and into the future. Let me put it this way. Maybe that hasn't always been, worked out the best for me, but I've always tried to avoid this in the now type of thinking because I view that philosophy a little bit more tangent, as in like from the material point of view. Like if people are always just thinking about what's going on right now, they're not learning from the past and they're not planning for the future type of thing, right? I understand that's not exactly what you're talking about, but like, lack of temporal or perception of time is something that traditionally only like animals and young children and stuff have, like the kids, animals and shit like that. They only care about what's going on right now. They don't really, their minds haven't developed far enough to be able to tell about the future or care about the past. So I've kind of avoided the linguistics that you're talking about right now, but I'm kind of starting to understand, like you could supplant the word now with like silence or stillness or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Exactly. Right. Thank you. That's exactly it, my friend. Settle into the silence, settle into the stillness, settle into the moment. To me, those are all kind of the same things. And what you were talking about, not to keep putting you off, Tarek, thank you and welcome for joining.
No, you're fine, Jack. I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
Thank you. What you were talking about, Cecil, you're right. I've seen people that they say the words and they have the appearance that they are in the moment, but what they are is very reactive. You can see them reacting, right?
Right.
And that's a clear sign that they're detached from the moment. And the reason they're detached is just, it's another part of what you said. They're not stopping to reflect on the past. They're not stopping to reflect and to learn from what they have experienced in the past. And so then people stay in this looping state of confusion because they've rejected what they've experienced. Since they've rejected the past, they stay disconnected from the present, and that's when the triggers come out. People show they're disconnected by reacting.
Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to throw my 2 cents on the pile. I was actually stopping through on my way to Machine's house, but I just wanted to mention now that Tarek's here, because we've talked about the subject in the past. Tarek, I'm playing a video game right now with Marduk in it. He's like the god Marduk. They don't spell it with an E in this particular game, but he's like the god of this like interdimensional city, or like this city that's like the nexus point of a bunch of different dimensions. Anyway, I just started the game. I'm kind of interested. It's called Undungeon. But
I got
but
you.
anyway,
I'll look into
say
it.
again. What was that?
I said I'm gonna look into it. I'll look into it for sure.
Yeah, it's like dungeon, the word dungeon, but with the letters U in before it. Undungeon. You're like an interdimensional
Gotcha.
being, and you go around. And yeah, anyway, man, it was good seeing you, Jack. I'll talk to you guys later.
Respect, Cecil. Thank you.
I'll take it easy, Cecil.
Tarek, yes, you've been patient. How you doing, brother? What's going on?
Good. How are you, Jack? Hope you're doing well. Nothing. I just wanted to touch up on something. I think maybe like we all go through these things. I think sometimes we don't notice them. Where I said in the chat, for example, that maybe you and Lindsay, maybe Lindsay and Chuck are here for a reason. And look within, right? That's not just for you. That's also for Lindsay. That's also for Chuck. Because I truly believe, Jack, that this spiritual energy that we have inside of us takes us to a different place for a reason. Something there that has to exchange different spiritual energy. And that means you have to receive the information, see what's wrong with it. And it could be either side. It could be Lindsay, it could be you, it could be both of you. There's something in there that's bothering her, maybe from her past. And there's something in there that you maybe also experiencing. And I think that's where it lies.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever thought about that.
I actually have, and I appreciate that. Tarek, to be honest, I've been wondering, how do we know when, the interaction, how do we know when the lesson is for us or for them? How do we know which lesson is for us or for them? So I've been learning not so much. What's that?
No, that was a good question. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you.
I've been learning and paying attention. Lindsay has come forth with some interesting questions and observations. I've learned a little from those, but more so from the experience, watching myself and whoops, I think I went out. Am I back? I think I'm. Are you there? I disappeared.
I was lagging. Sorry. What was the question again? I'm sorry, I lost you for like 10 seconds.
Well, yeah, my signal dropped there too. So, fascinating. Hey,
yeah, it is fascinating.
Where I was going is, I've been paying attention and I've been learning, but unfortunately, many people around me have already formed their opinions. Chuck is one of many. He's been very vocal about his insulting opinions of me and his disagreements, but his disagreements and opinions have actually prevented him from understanding me. See, once we judge, then our mind is closed.
Very
and closed true. Minds, they don't learn. So, Tarek, you're right. I trust everything. Here's where I am. Praise God, sincerely. This moment, here and now, this is where I live. So from this moment here on out, my purpose is to be kind, gentle, peace-filled, loving, hopeful, right? Faithful. Yep. That's my purpose and my goal, moment to moment. So anyone who wants to join and discover that part of life, that's what I want.
Jack, you're very peaceful as a person. You are. I see that from you. I feel your energy when you talk, and even when you're a little bit upset with some of the people because they aggravate you. It's normal to be aggravated and to be sometimes upset. That is just normal. Don't let that get to you. But I think also, like I said, it's not. It could be not for you mainly, Jack. It could be for Lindsay. I'm giving also Lindsay a hint. This could be also for you to look within, and for Chuck, because I believe, for example, just like the me and Paul situation happened, it didn't happen for no reason. There's something in there did not want me to be there, for example, or something to learn. Now I'm here. I take this moment from on and look within and see what's going on around me and make better choices. And whatever comes or comes will come. Don't that's how I think about it sometimes.
Brother, I like you too, Tarek. I really do. Okay. I hear growth, and you do pay attention. I see you going through some challenges and maybe some growth yourself. Bless you. We are in this together, my friend. You know that. And I agree. Lindsay, Chuck, you guys are here. You guys are a part of this experience, and I welcome you with love. Lindsay has shared some of her story. I know that I can offer perspectives that might bring healing, might bring some release.
Yep. And Jack, I want to say something too. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I didn't mean to at all.
No,
I want to say, because you're right there on the topic, I want to say something, because I don't know if Lindsay's hearing this or Chuck. And I'm also doing this from the bottom of my heart because that's what I feel. So I could be wrong, but I think that's what the moment is going to say. Lindsay, for example, she was very open-minded about her situation, which not a lot of women would do. Get up on the broadcast live and talk about her inner things that she experienced with her dad or anybody else. That takes a lot of courage. I give her a lot of credit. Chuck, I haven't heard much about him. I just can feel his energy. But, I think sometimes, Jack, with Lindsay, that's what I feel. As a parent myself, and also been a child of great parents, my mom and dad have been great all their life to me and my whole family. I can feel sometimes like Lindsay with you, it could be a dad issue, and it could be the voice. That sometimes when you maybe raise your voice, I feel from her perspective, she gets a little defensive, and maybe she had that from her dad or something like that. I'm just speculating, but I feel like that's where she gets a little bit, I feel, backed away and defensive, and that could be it from that perspective, I think.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
I think it does, and if she hears that, hopefully she'll receive those words with care. But I receive those with care because I think you're right. My tone has affected our conversation, and so that means that there's room for me to become more aware, to be more aware, and to perhaps be more mindful of my tone when I'm communicating with her and others. And I'm trying to improve. I really am. And this comment is true. I do love you, Chuck. But I'll try. I'm improving the way I treat you, and I hope that it can be returned. That's all I can do is hope.
And Jack, I'm sorry to say this too. I don't think I don't see the chat because I've been trying to do this too more often now. I have more than one computer around me or many phones I can be on, right, and see everything from every channel, everything else. I'm just trying to put your screen now and just ignore the chat. Period. That's what I've been doing lately. But people gotta understand. I don't think anybody from the chat or Jack or myself or Lindsay or Chuck, they don't. All these people have love for each other. Even with Paul, whoever thought I don't have love for Paul even till now? That hasn't changed. The changes happened because they were meant to happen for a reason. I'll find that out. So try to understand. Everybody here, I think, means well, loves you well. Jack loves you. Everybody loves you. I don't think anybody really is mean or hopefully doesn't wish you any bad. I'm hoping so. Just want to let that in.
Amen. Paul is one of those, and I don't know what's going on with you. I know you've received, You've received a reputation, some of it worthy, some of it not. I've seen things blown out of proportion with you,
Yeah,
but
it is.
hey, I'm with you. I don't have any ill intentions or bad feelings towards Paul or anyone. And there's been a lot of people who've been quite disrespectful with me, but I don't have any ill will towards them. I don't want anyone to suffer or sink. I want us all to rise. I know we can all do better when we try.
That is very true, Jack. And also, like you said, when people try, people have to try. Like you say, like you can't come in that conversation. For example, when you're closed-minded, you already have this perspective about Jack, Paul, anybody, Lindsay. It don't matter who it is. If you have that perspective and you walk into a conversation, it's dead on. I mean, you're not going to get anything or receive anything. You have to be open-minded. Maybe there's something in there you're not seeing. People have to understand, maybe there's something I am not seeing. Ask yourself that question.
Brother, that's it. Hey, Lindsay, yes, you tuned in and you heard your name for like the past maybe few minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, about 5 minutes or so, I'd say.
Yeah, if you want to hear, please. It wasn't, I don't think anything bad, but it was observations about, what's been there. So there is opportunities for us all to grow. And a simple goal for life is really to make life more simple. How do you make life more simple? Stop engaging in so many conflicts, so many unnecessary disagreements, so many unnecessary worries. Dude, people make problems out of nothing and make nothing out of problems. Oh, no. Yeah. People are blind and in denial about some of the true problems that are happening, and then they'll take nothing. Oh, I heard you said this, so I thought that. And since I thought this, well, we did that, blah, blah, blah. People are fucking nuts, man. You see, right?
Jack, when I look back, I'm sorry to say this, but when I look at back, just the metaverse fights and all the back and forth with everybody, even with you sometimes, with Paul, and God knows whoever it is, it just makes me laugh. Like, you can't take that experience and not have a beautiful moment out of it. If you can't, something is wrong.
You know what? Life is really, it's really fascinating. Hey, I want to address a couple of comments, not to take us back a little bit, but 53 days, that is a lot of days to make change in the world. And I know the momentum is growing. Everything is aligned for a great change to come forth. And Bryce, I don't know if we've met or if we've ever spoken. I do garnish knowledge from YouTube gurus, and I do actually understand many different philosophies. Are you misguided on steroids? Because I know I am not. Tell you what, if you got any questions, Bryce, it's been a while since I noticed that, but feel free to click the link. We can have a conversation about your respect, expectations for earning respect. Fascinating. And this one here, DeFrank, I somewhat agree. I also respect Paul a lot. We're in agreement there. He has an undeveloped leadership quality, leadership ability. I'll agree. It probably is natural within him, but oh, you know what? That's exactly it. Paul thinks he's so special and unique because he's strong and confident. Well, guess what? That's within everybody. That's why people are attracted to him, because they see something of him that's not quite in themselves. It's the confidence. I think that's one of the many things I appreciate, respect of him. I understand leadership, and it is my goal, honestly, it is my goal, has been my goal to try and develop Paul into a greater leader. I've said this before. He's got the boss mentality of bossing people around and telling people what to do and blah, 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 blah. He's not a leader yet. He's not a leader yet. He has an incredible, every one of us has a level right? And he does have a large potential about him. But until he's willing to humble himself to the fact that I'm a man worthy of listening to rather than putting up with his damn insults and corrections, he'll never know how good life can be. I'm beginning to realize how good life can be with God in my mind at all times. It's really not that hard either. I'm talking about having God in my mind at all times, love in my heart, and you want to paint the picture that I'm pathetic and embarrassing. I'd encourage you, I'm here with Daddy 785. Fucking cult symbolism. See, you're describing what you're a part of, man. What you're a part of is kind of crazy. I don't know. Tarek, you dropped off, and I didn't know if that was your connection or what's going on. So.
It was an accident. I hit the button. I apologize.
No worries.
But yeah, I heard you on my other screen. You said something about Paul, and I want to chime in a little bit. Like with Paul, I think, yes, he does have a talent. He is gifted in many places. I agree with you on that. The only thing that I see so far, just from my perception, only in my opinion, and I hope nobody gets mad at this, is I do see disrespect in certain areas that he should work on. And I also see that there's also, to me, some things also that he's sometimes promoting that should not be coming from any leader that he said he is, the God of all media, the way. Like the God of all media, Paul, would not tell his whole chat to be named Daddy something. That's right away a flag for me. That's a cult leadership. I'm sorry to say this, but that's how I feel about that, Jack.
Brother, I agree. You know, here's what I'm learning though. Truth is the only thing that matters. And while the truth can be upsetting and unsettling, becoming upset or unsettled changes nothing. So I am learning and growing, practicing in my efforts to be more stoic, more grounded, more present and calm. There's a lot of opportunities for this world to change. Every day brings us opportunities to change what's within us and what's around us. That's really what I want to do. Hey, Brother Tarek, we're coming up on 2 hours. I am going to wrap it up, I think. Promote Machine Lies, I think. Anything on your way out, brother?
Thank you so much, Jack. I appreciate you having me on. You have a great, blessed day, and I'll try to come on Machine Lives. Thank you, and good night.
Blessings, brother. You as well. Brothers and sisters, especially those who joined the panel, thank you sincerely. Those who joined the chat. We shared a couple of videos today, and I encourage you, their links are in the description. I encourage you, explore those a little bit, see what they're about, share some love, some support if you appreciate what's there. I don't see why you wouldn't. It's free knowledge being shared in beautiful, inspiring ways. And that's what I'm hoping to offer here is actually some free knowledge being shared in pleasant and inspiring ways. And soon, you know, there is a friend of ours, a co-creator, somewhat of a limited collaborator with me. We've done a few conversations together, Machine Lies. He's going with his stream already. And I think that's probably what I am going to do. Oh, well, certainly. Welcome, Lindsay.
Hello. I know you want to shut down, so I'm going to make this really quickly. I wanted to explain, I kind of didn't want to, but I want to explain the selfies. And I by no means think I'm some glamour lady or whatever, but I want to because this is because of some comments in the chat. I just want to explain something really quick. And this is not a sob story. This is reality. I'm going to be honest with you guys. About 3 years ago, I was dying. My kidneys failed, and they were only working at like a 7% level. I was dying and in bed, and I realized you may not make it. I have a 50% chance. And I was going through my life, and I was thinking, what are the things that I regret? Because if I make it, I'm gonna try to fix those things. I'm gonna try to improve on those things. And one of them was horribly low self-esteem. Surprise! Not thinking that I'm pretty. Constantly telling myself that I'm ugly, or I'm too this, or I'm too that. Massive self-esteem issues. So I said, hey, if I survive, you know what? No matter how I look, or if I think I'm ugly or not, or whatever, I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to celebrate it with something that makes me feel better. I'm going to appreciate whatever looks I do have. And I decided I have a whole list of things that I wanted to change and make better if I survived. Now, that's one of the more superficial ones, but I wanted to actually finally appreciate myself. And so I do this thing with selfies. It's sort of like a celebratory thing for me, but a lot of people don't know that. They just think I'm very, oh, I got to get myself in a picture. I'm, Lindsay Kardashian, as that person said. No, I'm just a regular chick. I never thought that I was beautiful, and now I'm trying to self-obsessed. See, look at these people are mean. But I just wanted to explain part of that. I'm not stuck up. I don't think that I'm terrifically beautiful. I do this, A, because it's fun, and B, I'm trying to appreciate whatever it is I do have. And I'm doing this in many different ways, and this is just one of them. That's all. I'm going to get off of here because I probably said too much.
No, not at all. Thank you. And I celebrate you. I honor you with what you're doing. Congratulations, okay? And do you be damned? People will be damned, right? They're going to do and say what they want. You've
Yeah.
offered your explanation. I encourage you. You're a beautiful woman. Very, very well presented, very attractive. You've got a strength and a beauty to you that I admire. So,
Well, thank you. I just decided to damn the torpedoes. When you've almost bitten the dust, things become clear, priorities become clear, and spending all that energy hating myself and thinking I'm ugly, etc., and thinking things about myself that are extremely negative didn't really do me any good. So now I just kind of go, woohoo, I'm free. And you know what? I don't care. I don't care. I just want to be healthy. And I'm so happy that I'm healthy now.
That's the key, my friend.
And now I'm seeing something else too. Excuse me for cutting you off. It has to do with you. I'm seeing that when I'm critical of you, you have basically said in so many words, you don't know me. You don't know my intentions. You don't, how long have you been around me? Do you really know me? If I could jump in your mind, then I guess I could, and I would be less critical. Well, it's the same thing with me and people and how they perceive me here. It's like, you know what? You don't know me. You think I think I'm some kind of glamour puss or something? No. I get out in the yard and rake the leaves and take out the trash and do everything everybody else does, and I don't go around thinking I'm gorgeous. But I am happy and proud. I want to live, and I want to try to appreciate what I have.
I want that for you too. I want that for everyone, because you're right. There's a lot happening behind the scenes with a lot of us. And if we actually understood the totality, we probably wouldn't be so critical on each other. And Lindsay, consider, right? Well, every one of us are on our own paths. There's a perfect process that guides us forward through into what we become and achieve. If we notice the patterns, we've really got to be humble and honest and really own our part. It took me a long time to finally admit, despite my best intentions, despite all my excuses, my anger doesn't matter. It doesn't help anyone or anything. So anger has been a beast within me that I've been trying to work with all my life. And I truly understand lack of confidence. Confidence is something I didn't have most of my life. I had illusions of safety, not confidence. And there's a big difference. Today, I got no safety. I got no fucking nest egg anymore. I got no more landing pads. I am committed to success. Failure's not an option.
Do you feel freer that way?
Yep.
Like you had to let go of all those things? Because I feel freer. I feel like, yeah, you know what? If I want to go to the beach alone and wear a bikini, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to have fun. And I don't care, about age. I don't care about what I'm wearing. I'm going to rock it, and I'm going to rock my entire life. So eat me, people in chat.
Hey, sister, dude.
Something else, Lindsay.
Oh, hi, Tarek.
Hi, Jack. Hey, how you doing, Lindsay? I came up because I want to make sure I didn't say anything that maybe you heard, or maybe somebody said something to you about me. Jack was speaking about. Your name came up, you and Chuck, and all I said was to Jack, which I want your insight on it. That's why I came up, and this way at least we can get to chat. Or some people are maybe suffering with this to understand both perspectives in terms of healing. What I brought to Jack was Lindsay is I said to him, there's a reason why Lindsay and Chuck are there in your life right now in this moment. Look within. And Jack said he did look within, and he did all he can. He still feels like it's more maybe so he's saying on your side or Chuck's. And what I said back to him that I believe that Lindsay, just because I studied you very well, that your voice, I did. There's certain people I study really well. I'm sorry, I do. For a reason, and nothing else, just personal observation to make myself feel better. Because I think you're in my life for a reason as well. Because I first called you a shaitan worshiper, a devil, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, long time ago, yeah. So I did. That first time I met Lindsay, I called her a devil worshiper.
We've come a long way. Sorry for the interruption. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. So what I was saying to Jack, Lindsay, is does Jack's voice, because I know sometimes it's hard for you to say to some people because I feel like you're more, you're very objective, but you rather not say certain things to hurt people's feelings. Does Jack's voice offend you when it gets a little high? Do you feel like that bothers you maybe from previous history stuff? That's all I was asking.
Well, it's kind of a difficult question. Yelling and fighting, no, I don't particularly like. I hate it when people start yelling. And yes, that does have a little bit to do with the way I grew up. But I also rewound a little bit. You said I had daddy issues. I can admit to having daddy issues for sure. I mean, but I don't. What I disagree with is that I'm projecting them on Jack.
Well, let's not dismiss, because regardless of what it is, there's something that's causing obstructions between us. And I trust, regardless of what you shared, what I heard you share of your past, I actually believe I can help. Okay. And that includes the past issues. Those can be overcome. They can be faced. They can actually, the videos I watched today, that the stuff I'm talking about, rewriting the story of the past. And that's what I can help offer. It's very healing, and it's very simple. It's just finding the willingness and the commitment to make those changes. It can take a lifetime. But honestly, I think what Tarek is offering is true. I believe I can be of help and support to those who can see me as worthy of offering help and support. Speaking of, welcome, Chuck.
Welcome. Come in peace.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah, I was going to say, nobody is 100% right all the time,
How do you know?
including me.
But how can you be so certain that nobody is? Actually, what does that matter? What does that matter?
Well, I'm just saying,
Chuck,
instead
you
of,
don't see anyone else but yourself all of the time. So what does it matter that nobody is accurate all of the time?
I'm just
You're,
saying, you want to find, you blame us for trying to find fault with you, and yet you're still trying to do that to us.
hey, Chuck, is this peace? Is this your
Yes.
idea of peace? Is it?
You want peace? I'll give you peace. Come take care of my invalid wife. How's that for peace? Come take care of my daughter who's in the hospital for overdosing.
Is
How's
this
that
why
for
you're
peace?
hostile towards me? I'm responsible
No,
for
I
that.
don't have hostile word. I'm just saying
Well,
you're
Chuck,
reflecting onto others that you don't want reflected onto you, is all I was pointing out.
well, Chuck, I'm sitting here silently. You're doing
Okay,
exactly what
well,
you're accusing me of.
I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just saying
Chuck, Chuck,
maybe Lindsay's at the best she can do right now.
what are you,
Maybe she
Chuck? Hey,
doesn't
Chuck,
need a fixer.
hey,
Yes,
Chuck,
dear. Yes, dear. I'm listening.
I
Let
was
me back
planning
this.
on,
Let me
I was,
back this up and lay a little groundwork on my perspective, and then we'll
why?
go from there. Okay? No, no,
Why?
not about you. Not about you. Being from the streets of working the rooms of AA, you learn different things about different people. You can't be 100% right all the time. I try my best to help people and lead them in the right direction. And after years of working with other alcoholics,
Hey, Chuck, this is not your show. I really don't care. See, what you fail to recognize is you. This is what I've been trying to get you to see. You're just talking. You're completely without care of me. You claimed you were coming in peace, yet I know that you are. You did as you have been doing in the past, not allowing peace, but insisting I sit and listen to you talk about your opinions. What you're offering, go back and listen, Chuck. You are a deflecting. You're not present. You're not aware. You're not connected to what is real and happening in front of you with me. And I'm here one with God, dude. So, Chuck, you're casting your dispersions, trying to present an image so others believe like you. I'm suggesting that you are confused and you're misleading others. And you should probably learn how to trust the silence and the peace so that you don't interrupt it with your arrogance and your nonsense, Chuck. Okay, I'm speaking to you as a brother in Christ, as I would kindly and honestly to someone I love, my brother. So, brothers and sisters, I love us all. Today, simple goals for a simple life. Sincerely part of that. Choose who you allow into your day. Choose how you spend your time. What is your time worth to you? Do you have any purpose, any value to share? Or are you just going around sucking up time and interrupting others from what they're trying to do, Chuck? That's what I feel you've been doing to me, interrupting the progress of what I'm trying to create. And I've been very patient, very forgiving, and you have yet to find the good in me, so praise God. One day, God will allow the truth to be seen by you, and then you'll know. Then you'll know that your arrogance and your judgment was a little bit skewed, and that really what you were doing when you were talking, without the ability to stop, you were describing you. See, and that's why I try to speak loving and kind, because I know that I am describing me. I'm revealing me with my words to you and those who are willing to listen. So, brothers and sisters, I'm going to wrap it up. Simple goals for life: increase, choose more happiness, joy, and peace. Happiness, joy, and peace. Happiness, joy, and peace in the present, right here and now. Brothers and sisters, check out the videos linked in the description. Hit the notifications. Help this channel grow, please. Open up some doors of communication. Let's get some real inspired conversations and inspired guests here together with me. Till next time, thank you again, sincerely. Peace for everyone. Choose love and live without fear. I'm going to forward us on to my friend, our friend, the Machine Lies, and we'll find out what's going on there. Peace.